body. So I actually stopped in the body. So yeah, let's go back. Let's erase this. So what I'll need to do is that I want to call the body. I use const body element body element equals to document main dot get element by id. So we are done. So we are getting the body, right? So when looking at this piece of code, you understand this piece of code. So what we are doing here is that we are getting this everything here. We are getting everything here. So when you do console.log, let's see what's going to get. That console.log. You see what we are getting? This is what we are getting. We are getting this. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing what we are getting? So the file where we are getting this inside project.html. So when we click on it, come to source. That way you will see everything inside there, right? Every other Java chip you are seeing, just not ours. It's not our baby. So our baby is these two. These two are our baby. You understand? So let me go back to that. So we've been able to can also do console to confirm that console that this thing is working. You need to do this so that you know that what is that called it, that you are getting it right. Are you together? I'm logging the body element. So let's quickly do this. Console.log, right click. So you don't need to so when you notice here, you notice that we are getting the body. So you see that console.log is getting this, console.log is getting the body, which is not visible, right? The body is not visible. So let's start writing our JavaScript code. So to write a function in JavaScript, so we need to add this in a block, right? We need to add this in a so I need to add this in a block. So we need to write this in a function, right? Quite important. So we can decide to say, okay, we want, if you click on this button, right? If you click on this button, what's going to happen? Are we together? So yes. We want our code to only trigger anything if you click on this button. So we can decide to do something like this. So we just want to make it very interactive class. We can decide to do something like this. You can see you remember we already referenced this click here, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. If you notice that we've already referenced the click here. So this is what we are going to do. We can call this species. Whenever we call to this, that means we are referring to this, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Please let all of us be. So whenever I click on this, that means when you click on this, that means we are we are referring on this, right? So we can call this man here. You can say button dot on click, right? On what? On click. Are we together? So when you click on this button, right? So we need to when you click on this button, so what do you want to happen, right? The thing that you want to happen. So you can say function, right? So if you want to write a function, you call it this way, function Hmm? Sorry. We call it a function. Type the function, which is this. Then inside that function, the name of the function. The name of what? Of the function. You can see any name at all. So let me show you what I mean. We call the function like this. Then this is what we call a reserved key. It is not us that build it, so you can't change it. It remains a function. So then when you call that function, then give it the function name. Any name, you say I just click, right? Then so whatever sorry. So when you call this, then any other thing you are writing here come inside this function. So I just click. So this is just a function. So the function can trigger whenever you call this man, whatever he inside here will run. Do you understand? Yeah. So we are not doing function
Yes,
today.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you something. I can say, okay, let me see. I can say calculation car. So in that car, I can decide to say console dot log. I will say I put in okay, let me just write 20 okay 6 times 2. So if I come here and call this console.log, okay, I'll do log. I'll just call this cow, abi?
Sure. Yes.
Cow. Now I come to inspect and then call the what's it call it? Let me reload. So we have unexpected token. Okay, need to log that. Let's log it, please. Okay, sorry, there's an error. We need to comment on this so that we can see what we are doing. It's giving an error. So let's go back and JavaScript error is not visible to the browser. It only see it on the console. So when you call that function, you see that we have 12. Are you getting me? So see what we did here. We did the calculation. We just call this. And that thing also is what we call parameter. I can decide to say y times z. Y and z. It should be y and z. I can say y plus. Okay, yeah, just put in y and z. Then you can say, come here and say the y and z means that this is called parameter. Means that we can put in any value that we like here. That's why we use y and z. You can come here, we say z times y. Are you getting me? So this function, the function can do anything. You remember sometime when you are doing something, you call a function. Okay, you can create a function that deletes something. So what you need to do is just call that thing dot delete. It deletes it. You have a function that do multiplication. So when we come here, we can try to say 5 6. It can be 5 times 6. So let's see that and see what's going to happen. What do you see here?
30.
You have 30. We have 30. So it can decide to come here. Total number is total number is what? That means, so this parameter means that imagine that it cannot give any number here. You want to make it dynamic. That means you are allowing any user to type whatever they like. Are we communicating? Are we communicating? So
Yes. So if on
yeah, you can decide the user to
function.
to write anything. So you can say function car x y. Then I can come here and say number is y times x. Then we come here see what we get. The number is 30. So let's say you can just create a function that can be doing something for you. A function can convert time, or maybe can convert gig to megabyte. You can just put the gig here, 50 gig, it will convert it to megabyte. So see a function like a block of code that perform a particular task. Are we communicating? By just calling that function, whatever you have done inside this will now be available, is what will display. So a function is just like a group of code. It's not just one code, but a group of code to perform a particular task or to achieve a particular goal. So now there's another way of writing a function, which is a shorthand way, a modern way of writing a function, which is what you need to do is just come here and you don't need to call this function arrow function. I think that should be that should be this right, an arrow. Okay, sorry, equals to, then you have an arrow. So I think this should not work. Yeah, so you need actually arrow function, I don't forget, arrow function should be
One arrow. One equals.
Not one equals, something must be here. Car arrow. Then it should be like this. This is usually an arrow function.
You give it a variable. You just give it a name.
Yeah, give it a variable. Yes, you give it a variable. You can say car equals to, yes. So this is an arrow function. So this is our function now, car. Remember the former function is this. Let me undo so that I will not get confused. So this is the first function. Let me copy and paste. This is well understood, Abi. You can call function, then use car. You pass in, this is what we call parameters, right? You pass in your parameters, then you just do some code. Then if you want to do that, remove this man, assign this man, so what is it? So okay, equals to, can say let's cat equals to. So whenever you call this variable, and then let's see what's going to happen. So car declare already been declared. So just call okay, how do you call this? Yes, car already, okay, been declared. Let's use var and let's see what's going to happen. All right, so if you use let here, it will not work due to what I told you earlier about let. I said let can only be declared within a block of an element. So if you use let here, they will say this has already been declared, so you can't call it here again. You see the problem we're having? Car has already been declared. This is just like the error we had when we were comparing val and let. Do you guys remember? When we are calling, when we are calling it outside the function. Now you can now have a more clearer understanding why we should use var and let. So when we are calling it outside the function, we had an issue. So the preferable, we used uh, take. Preferable we used val. So what we need to do to use val, where is it? Where is it? Okay, val. So you use a val. Yeah. So you call your call cat. So when you come here, you pass in the parameter inside here, and then arrow. Which one is more simpler? So look at this function. And look at this function. So still the same functionality. We have the number is what is 30. So these are basically how you can write a function. Although we have not started the class of a function yet, but this is how you can write a function. This JavaScript, this is programming. This is not HTML, right? So we need to have a long time for people to understand. So you notice that what we have here is function, right? In this function we have var x y x equals to this bracket. We assign it. We assign this, right? We assign this. So basically this is what function is all about. In this project I am building, I am using this. Do you understand? So when you see me using this, now you now understand this and this. Nkem Gold, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Nkem Gold, can you explain these two codes? I know that time have gone, but we need to do this. Explain these two codes for us.
Okay. The first one, you use them for.
Please, Nkem Gold, with all due respect, sir, can you stop using weak voice and use Peter V voice for me? Thank you.
Okay. You said this. Okay, let me start with the second. The first one is way of calling function, where you.
Who can explain this to us, please? Okay, basically.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I think both of them is a way of declaring a function. But the second one is a shortcut. That is the use of arrow function to shorten the code.
Okay.
To make your code shorter.
So this other one need to save it in a variable. Why this one don't need to save it in a variable? So which one is more shorter among two of them?
The second one.
The second one
So
is the arrow function.
so we stick with the second one.
Declare it in a variable.
Yes. Remember, we have not started function yet. We are going to do function very soon. So we stick with what? With this. They'll comment on this. And we're going to comment on this data. So let's move back to our code. So let's also comment on this. Right. Now if you look at this, we have already gotten this, and we've confirmed that okay, this thing is really working because we remember we've already called that, right? So what we are going to do here is that we will call a function. So what I'm going to do is that whenever I click on this button, something should happen. So what I will do is very simple. I will call this variable button click. Because button click meaning this man. Then here I'll say button click dot on what? On click. So on click means whenever you click on this, on click. So on click, as the name implies, right? If you click on this, what should happen? Then of course, if you notice the conventional usage of this, this was actually stored in a variable. Are you getting me? So what we are going to do is that we'll say equals to. Are you getting the point? So we are now using this this button equals to. So this is what we have here, equals to. Then that equals to passing
as a variable.
Yes, as a variable. Yes, we pass in this, but we are not we don't want to save a variable. We want to use this variable. So whenever I call this variable, we want to use this variable. And whenever I click on the button, so we don't want to save it in a variable, but we are using this as a variable, so it has already been declared. We don't need to declare it again. The reason why we use this because it has not been declared. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the cat have not been declared. That's why we store it in a variable. So you can't come here and declare a variable and want to declare it again. You know it's not possible. So we already have what we declared. So we call that variable we declared. So okay, if you click on that variable that we declared, which is equals to, then what we are going to do here is that we, of course, when it comes here, we have this equals to. We'll now do this equals to and this. Then, of course, we already have this, right? This and this. So a function must have this parenthesis, or what they call this angle bracket, right? So this is how you write a function. This is the one we are using. That's no different with this one. The difference with this one is that this one we declare the variable here. Why this we do not declare a variable here? So we say okay dot click. So if this click, what should happen? You can say console dot log alert you don't click me that's all. Click me so when you click on this, which is shout, you don't click me are we together? So when I click it, everybody shout, you don't click me so when you click on it, let it load. When you click on it, let's see what's the problem. You are not getting any response. There must be an error. So you say uncut. Uncut click is not a function. Okay. Click is not a function. Uncut
The wrong declaration.
is a wrong declaration. So let's look at the error very well. It says type error click button dot is not what? A function. Okay, so what we are going to do is that so it's not a function. Let's know why it's telling us it's not a function. So click is not a function. So let's see what the problem is here. On click equals to this. So let's space here. So yeah. Button dot click is not a function too. Let's see what is the problem. On click is not a function. Button dot click function. This button of this equals to let's check. Let's try to use this. Let me move this. Let's try to say this function. To let's try to use that one. Let's see function. So let's come here and put. Let me see. Let's come here and put. Let's click on this function. I'm trying to in that function. Okay, let's come here and put on click first. Let's comment on this and see. Let's put on click function here and see. See on click on the function. So let's see what's going to happen. So if you click on this, you are unexpected.
So, sorry, sir, your on click doesn't. It's not so. Your on click is not supposed to be a function.
Okay, yeah, the function rather. Sorry, we'll call the function. So let's call the function.
I'm
Then
talking about.
I'm coming.
Even that where you commented.
Okay, on click equals to. Don't worry. Let's do this equals to. So let's call the function, right? So let's call the function here. So we want whatever that is here should happen, right? So when you click on it, you should call this function, and then whatever that is here should happen. I'm coming. We'll come to that. Let me check something. So when you click on this, okay, this should go here. So let's quickly see what's going to happen if we have an error. Alright, think there's no error. So the total number is nil, right? The total number is nil. Alright, we already declared the function here. Let's comment on this because okay, let's just change the function. Okay.
No argument.
Okay, no argument. Yeah, sorry. No worry. Let's do console.alert. You click me. Oh. Okay, good.
Not alert.
No, let just leave alert for now. So when you click on it, you notice total number is nil. Total number is, don't remove this one because we are not passing any number there. So yeah, so when you click on this, then it said you total number is, are you getting me? So when you click on this, so what happened here is that when you call this, we click, we should call this function. That's why you use on click, you pass this function. So this on click is mean when you click, it should now call this what, this function, which is the calculator here. Are you together? So you call this calculator here. So basically this is working. Then let's now see why this other one we did in another function is not working. We can decide to use this function. Are you getting me? We can decide to use this function. So okay, the other person was saying something. What was he saying earlier?
The on click you use is an event, but you are using it as a function. Just where you commented up.
Okay. What we need to do, you need to use the add event listener, right?
Button click dot on click. Remove the brackets for on click.
The first one. Okay.
Up. Line 20.
Okay, line 20. So let
click.
So button
click
click
dot on click. You are using on click as a function, which is an event.
that should work.
Remove the brackets after on click.
The first bracket.
Okay, this one.
Yes, sir.
Oh. sorry. That was, I'm calling it as a function, but it's a method. Please forgive me. I think that is why we're having this issue. You understand? It shouldn't have this, right? It shouldn't have this. So sorry. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. All right. So what we were doing here is that let me come here and remove this entirely, because there's another way of doing that. So there's different way of doing that. So let's come back and say button dot click on click. So when you on click, this should trigger. So now we are not passing anything here. The communication between us is this man and this man. So this man here is getting our source from here. So whenever I click on this man, this should happen. So the same way we did here on this other function, on this shorthand function, the shorthand function we had then, where is it? Should be up there. So let me quickly, I believe we understand what is happening here, right? You look at this little code, you understand that we call this, and then whenever we call this variable, we click on click. This is a shorthand function which we've explained the different type of function. This is another function. You can decide to use any one that work for you. So if you go there and reload, then and click on this man, you see what's going to happen. but we don't want when we click on it to just show us a pop-up, right? We want something else to happen. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So when you click on it, you want something else to happen. So what do you want to happen? So when you click on it, you want a user to type type his name. Then we'll use a method called prompt. Are you getting me? Prompt is just it's a function that allows people to type their name. You can just say triple googling prompt in yes, right? Simple Google can give you okay. A prompt function is built-in JavaScript function that allow you to display dialogues box to user and
Dialog box.
prompt them to for input. It can take one optional parameter. So I know what parameter means now. The parameter is just whatever is inside is called a parameter. We did that here on this function, and there's another function we created. We also add some parameters. We use those parameters as a empty variable. Then we pass in something when we are calling what the function. So it means that whenever we click on this, something should happen, right? What's going to happen? What is that we want to happen? Whenever we click on this, very, very important, something should be able to happen. So, but we want to get a prompt. Clear comment on it. We don't want to get an alert. So he said a prompt is a JavaScript function that allows user to enter, that display a dialog, allows user to enter data. Yes. Now the data, the message you want to display. So what we are going to do here is that very simple. So we now have to call in a variable. So we need to save that information we are having in a variable. Remember I said variable you use to store information. So we want to store the name of that user in a variable. Are we communicating? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
whenever the this pop up, we want to save that user input to a variable. We can say const, then I can say username, then equals to prompt. Prompt. So we can say this prompt just like an input, like with a input field to add their name. So we can say a placeholder, enter your name here. Are we communicating? So let's see what's going to happen. If you click on this button, then what do you see?
Enter your name.
Enter your name here. I can say Orisa Macaulay. Nkem God, are you here?
Yes, sir.
So when you put Orisa Macaulay, nothing happens, right? There is no way. I've seen why variable is important. Right? Getting me? We are stepping in a variable, but we are not calling it. We've installed it in a variable, but we are not inputting it. So we can decide to say, okay, we can call console.log. But we stand by you. Console.log. We can. Is president here? Is president here?
No, I didn't see him in the class today.
Console.log. Can say, hi. Your name is. You can call the variable username. Now, if you notice that this and this cannot work, you cannot use two different data types together. So the data type here we have is a string. I get that one is a variable, which is also an string, an object rather. So we come here and say plus. We'll put space, then have a nice day. Are you getting me? So when we come here and come reload and click Orisa Macaulay.
No concatenation after the username or the comma.
Okay. Let's see what's going to happen. Let me see concat. And I put you can only use, you can see I use a comma. If without a comma, I will not talk. You can also use a comma. Are you getting me? You can use comma or you can use anything. So we said, let's go back and click. Sorry, let's reload a little bit. Orisa Macaulay. Then you can say, hi, your name is Orisa what? Macaulay. Are you getting me? But we want to display this inside the browser. Yes? We want to display this inside what? The browser. You understand? We want to display it inside what? The browser. And then when we display it inside the browser, or we will display it at a pop-up first, then when we display it at a pop-up, we can also display it inside the browser. So another way of getting this and easy, I like using very easy code, right? I don't like code that are very bulky. I like using just a very easy code. So you can look to this code. This code is very long. I want to shorten this code. I already want to shorten it because I will using longer shorthand code. So to get it in a short code, you just need to do console.log. Are we there? Then inside that log,
Yes, sir.
you put this. Hello, your name is, right? So inside there, I have this and this. Then what we pass in our user node. Yeah. Pass in your
Variable.
user name. Let's don't know why it's not showing us as a variable.
And don't forget to use backticks.
I'm coming.
Backticks.
The square bracket too. Choose the square bracket.
Nice day. Have a nice day.
So use backticks, not quotes.
Satu?
Use
Atu?
backticks. Just the sign before one, not quotes.
Okay, yes, sorry. Not code, we are not using code. Sorry, this Baptist we are using. Yes, this the sign before one is what we are going to use, not code. So you are not going to use code, right? So if you use code, it's not going to work. So have a nice day. So basically this is also the same thing. But I want to show you a very simple way of doing that. So this Macaulay. So yeah, we still have the same thing here. So let's look and display that in a browser, probably in a pop-up. So so we can first display this in alert, right? We can call alert because I can just copy this code. Okay, I'll just see pack code. Welcome dollar user name. You are or just welcome username. That's it. Welcome username. Then barcode again. No, just barcode. So let's quickly see what's going to happen here. We prompt an alert. There is they'll call this welcome Olisa. Have you seen it? Welcome Olisa. So let's also print this on the let's print this here. Just call this, print this inside this man. Remember we already called this man here, right? So we just work with the variable. Just close this, we are done with this. Next, you can see what's the name self. Let's look at the variable here. Variable is body element dot inner HTML equals to barcode welcome username done. username, username, we make yourself comfortable. So basically that is it. Let's go and reload. You click this. So this Macaulay Skyline. So you can see that we have welcome, make your name comfortable. You can see here we have welcome Orisa Macaulay Skyline, make yourself comfortable. So basically,
I don't understand it here.
okay, which one you don't understand? Just point it out, please. What number?
The one that displayed on the browser.
Please call the number code. Call the look at the code and call the number of the code you don't understand. This programming.
Number 28. Number 28.
Okay, good. But you understand this log and a lag, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, this, remember earlier we talked about how to display something in a browser. We use alerts, we use log, we use inner HTML. Are you getting me? So I said alert is when you want it to display in the browser. Why log is when you want it to display in what's they call it, a console. Yes. Yes. Why inner HTML is that you are talking to this HTML directly. Remember, probably before now we call the element body, and we save it in a variable called element body, which is we call this man getting the ID. So whenever we call it, we also printed this man out, logging it. We now notice that okay, we are getting this entire HTML. Are you getting me? So what we do here, what we did there is that we call the element, which is this element. So when we call this element, we are referring to this man. Am I communicating? Now if I come here and say okay, style red color, red, right? So when I call this man, I'm referring to this h3. So inner.html will allow us to write something inside here. Are you getting me? So when you come here, see that we have something here, right? So whenever we say that if you call this inner.html, that you should write something inside the HTML. That's why you see this inner. Inner means inside. So you should write something inside here. So what will you write? You should write welcome, then call this variable that stored this username, and then print it out. Then when you print it out. So the reason why we are doing this because to have more clearer understanding of variables. You understand? Is there anything you don't understand again so that we'll recap?
No, sir. I'm okay.
Okay, good. So what we are going to do now is very simple. When we come here and reload, nothing happens. When we click on this button, we say Skyline. Now we say welcome Skyline. You press this. That name, that right up we have in that body, which is still have will automatically disappear. Then we have this. Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
That comfortable is not okay. Make yourself comfortable. So you understand? So when you look at this code now, you'll be able to understand what is really going on. So basically that is all for today. We need to have an assignment that we're going to submit on Wednesday. The acting, are you there? Acting.
Very good.
Okay, God, are you there? Please.
Acting has acted out.
Any cohort leader here? Any cohort leader here?
Yes, sir.
What is your name and
Yes, sir.
what is your cohort?
Code 20, sir.
Code 17.
Okay, consider and cohort 20. Please listen. Now this is it. The assignment for the student. Do you have your writing material there?
No,
Just use your phone and type. Use your phone and type this thing I'm saying. Anybody that have available, use your phone and type this. How many are we now in the call? Are we up to 20? I don't.
Please type it.
Okay, we are 29. That means we have enough people. So please write. This is what you guys are going to do. Mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. I appreciate. Then you write a function that calculates an investment. Listen. Oh my God, who is doing this now? What's the meaning of all this? Now this is programming. No, this is not HTML. I will run mad here. So now this is what we will do. They should number one, they will create an app that calculates a user investment. Give that user 10%. Are you getting me? Let's say user invests. When you come here and click on invest, this button here will be invest. When you click on invest, this button will come up. Enter. When we put enter amount, you put the amount and submit. So when you submit, it will calculate, it will store it in a variable and calculate and give you 10%, and then it should print out total amount and total earnings, then total VAT, then total withdrawal. It means that if you put 1,000 naira, it should calculate 1,000 plus 10%, plus for the 10 plus 10%, you are earning 10% profit. Then in that 10% profit, it should deduct 2% VAT in the entire investment. Let's say you invest 2,000, you should get 10% extra profit. So after getting that, it should now deduct VAT of 2%. Print the VAT in a variable, print investment in a variable, then print earnings in a variable, then print total after VAT in a variable. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So you use prompt to do that. Just we've done about calculation. We've done how to calculate percentage. Then we've done how to do addition and minus. So this is what. Can you recap what I asked you to do, please? Very important. Don't worry, I'm going to try everything possible to upload this video tonight so that we'll have it available.
Okay, sir, you said they should create an app that will calculate the